When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And I'm pretty excited today to talk about one Mr. Gary Antuanne Russell. He's fighting this weekend on February 26th, and he's on the Chris Colbert undercard. The main event actually, it kind of changed complexions when Gutierrez actually had to pull out of the fight, maybe because of that C19. And so I would have been doing a video about Chris Colbert. I respect the young man. I think he does have a bright future. He's very energetic. He's energetic inside and outside the ring. So I wanted to, just salute him, man, for being the headliner that's going to actually allow Gary Antuanne to actually, display his talents. Now, moving on. This young man, Gary Antuanne Russell, he comes from a pedigree of boxers. I think his father, Mr. Russell, I think that he is often overlooked in the whole father-coach conversations. This man has 3 active fighters, former Olympians, some of the best displayed skills in the game. I think one of his other brothers used to box as well, but I think he kind of gets overshadowed and overlooked. I hope his health is doing well. I know he has some things going on. But I hope that he's recuperating and he's adjusting fine, and he's getting everything underway. I think that we need to salute him for what he bringing, the talents that he's giving us with his sons. I just want to give him his salute as well. Shout out to the Russell family. Now, Gary Antuanne Russell, 14-0, 14 knockouts. Nobody goes the distance. He is the one. When I did the top 5 myths in boxing, and I think it was number 1, that knockouts are overrated, I displayed that, man, because it's the only way to get the job done. I mean, we can be master class boxers and we can just box all that, but remember, when Floyd Mayweather put on that 12-round total domination of Canelo Alvarez, back when it was supposed to be a changing of the torch, when he won every single round, one of the judges actually had it as a draw. The knockouts are not overrated. It's pretty much the only way, especially if it's a legal blow and you get him up out of there, you stop him, you make him, quit on the stool, you make him say no mas. It's the only way to guarantee to get the job done. And this Gary Antuanne Russell, I had nicknamed him the Punisher. But just like I had to rename Jerron Boots Ennis when I used to call him the Candy Man when nobody was saying his name. And once Earl Spence had got the fight with Ugas and all the pressure was on Earl Spence to fight Ugas or Virgil or whoever, or Bud or whatever, and when that fight went on the table and Boots was there free and Bud didn't have any energy or any smoke, you remember when I changed Boots' name to Sasquatch Foot? I had to do the same thing with Gary Antuanne. I was calling Gary Antuanne the Punisher, even though it's another local boxer out here named Manzo who actually goes by that name, the Punisher. I was calling him before I was even aware of that young man, but that young man is a Punisher as well. This Punisher, I'm actually going to change his name to the Nightmare. And for people who know what's going on, I'm not going to get into the saga behind why I changed his name to the Nightmare. The people who follow and know, what's going on in these boxing streets, the hardcore, they actually know why I'm now calling him the Nightmare. He has a suffocating style. He's a southpaw just like all his other brothers. He has a suffocating style, a punishing style. He goes to the bread basket very well. He's one of the people that he can actually demonstrate one of my favorite punch, that stab jab to the bread basket. And once you get that going, it stops you dead in your tracks. Once you get that going and your opponent don't know if you're going to hit him in the chest, the stomach, or the head, it just opens up everything. He has a suffocating style, almost like a constrictor, where he's not going to let you breathe, even though he don't really smother his punches. And I think that when it comes down to exchanging with this young brother, I don't really think people are built to last. It's a penitentiary style boxing where he won't let you breathe. He gonna get his off. You're not really gonna get yours off, and you're gonna have to make business decisions as long as this man is putting that pressure on you. He does not relent on the pressure, but again, he has a well varied punch variety, and it's just exciting to watch. Looking at his opponent in Viktor Postol, I think Viktor Postol is 31-3. With his only 3 losses being to one Mr. Bud Crawford, one Jose Ramirez, and one Josh Taylor. So the losses came from some highly esteemed boxers, and don't believe Postol has been stopped. The only thing that people going to this fight might talk about is that he came off an 18-month layoff. But the last time he fought was against Jose Ramirez, which is a very good boxer. Him and Josh Taylor actually fought for undisputed, and Josh Taylor actually was able to come out with all of the belts after that fight. So good company to keep. It's been a while since Postol been active, but he said he knows that Gary Antuanne will not be an easy fight, but he answered the call. He said that the young man is a rising star, so he already knows what's going on. I think Gary Antuanne has been on record for saying that he's going to stop him in 5 rounds. So I don't think he's coming to play. I know that the last time he came out, he actually made Santiago quit on the stool, in which Santiago prior to that had fought one Mr. Adrian Broner, and it went to a decision in which many people thought that Santiago had actually won the fight and that Adrian Broner got gifted with the decision. However, Adrian Broner won. Santiago steps up. He fights Gary Antuanne, and Gary Antuanne made him look like he wasn't supposed to be in there. I know when Gary Antuanne had called out one Mr. Adrian Broner, we really didn't hear anything. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people have been calling, and some people like to say that they're picking on the old guys. I mean, I don't know what's going on with boxing, where the young guys who want to actually fight the older guys who can't really get their peers really to fight or kind of guard anything. To me, I always thought that the young guys are supposed to retire the older guys. So I guess it's okay when you want to do a money grab, you know, when you just want to run around and get money and do kind of like legacy, I mean, not legacy, but exhibition type fights where you're not really in there to fight. You're just in there really to get a check. I think that the way it should go is that you should get retired by one of the young fighters. Or you make a stand and you know what I'm saying, redeem yourself and you go on to either be a glorified gatekeeper or you work your way back up and you get back into the mix of things. But nowadays, the older fighters are the ones on their way out. They don't really want to fight none of the young guns. They pretty much just want to go grab a check. This young man right now, what's so special about Gary Antuanne right now is because a lot of people knows this young man. A lot of people know him. But I don't think that I don't really think that he's really getting into the stardom and letting all of the bright lights, you know, get to him right now. And you could say that you're catching him right now before he takes off, because he actually is already in flight. He's already set to do big things, and I think he's going to put on a statement. I think he will shine. I think he will emerge from the darkness and actually, you know, put at least 140, maybe even 147, you know, eventually on notice. He's a solid guy, and I look forward to the fight. You know, I think that it's going to be a pleasure to watch this fight on Saturday. And I hope Postol come to earn his check. I really do. I think that with this fight, if Gary Antuanne is able to go in there and stop Viktor Postol, I think that will put the Brandon Lees of the world on notice. I think Josh Taylor has a fight coming up this weekend as well. I mean, it will put Josh Taylor on notice. It'll put a lot of people at 140 on notice. Maybe even a Jose Ramirez. Who knows? But I think that this is a statement win. It's a showcase fight against a very savvy veteran. I think Postol only had like 13 knockouts out of the 31 victories. So he's not really a true knockout artist, but he hasn't been stopped. So he is a force. They call him the rangy technician. So I'm interested in seeing how Gary Antuanne will negotiate the obstacles of that jab that he has, and you know, and the length and the height, you know, and all that. But I don't really see. It's just gonna be a pleasure. I don't want to forecast and say what I think I'm gonna see, but or be derogatory towards Viktor Postol. I appreciate him for stepping up and answering the call. So that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm excited for the DMV. One of our rising stars is actually getting put on the map, and I see him doing big things. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're actually experiencing some good growth. You know, it's slow and steady because, you know, my content is not always, you know, it's not always easy to hear. Sometimes I go on my little rant. Sometimes I get all upset. You know, I get emotional. But that's how it is as a boxing fan, you know. But I thank you for all my subscribers. All subscribers matter. Remember, we always feed the clones. And I look forward to you liking or possibly sharing the video somehow, you know, and just, you know, help me grow, help Bodywork Boxing grow. And thanks for taking the time to watch my videos. Bodywork.
All right, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
My word, I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fucked solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
Today, job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so